Hey, everybody. Hey, Leo, Cyrus, Alyssa, Augustus, Benaya. Mommy, I love y'all. All right. Today, we're going to read another book. The book, The Lorax. That's the Lorax. There's somebody hiding. Ooh, is this scary? Let's see. The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. At the far end of town, where the prickly grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows. And no birds have ever sung. All right, no birds ever sing except old crows. Is a street of the lifted Lorax. Oh, let's see. I'm sorry, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Oh, there we go. Make sure this is it. Oh, okay. Here we go. At the deep in the crickly grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could before before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? And why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? Far from the far end of town where the crickly grass grows, the old onceler lives it here. The old onceler lives here. Ask him, he knows. What's a onceler? You wouldn't see the onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkim on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkim cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffered moof. And on special dank midnight, all right, and on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of his shutter, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps if you're willing to pay. What do you have to pay him? You have to pay a Lorax. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you'll have to top in 15 cents and a snail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. Oh, and a nail. Then he'll pull up the pail, make a most careful count to see if you paid him in the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snuffy? His secret strange hole in his grooveless glove. I don't know. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper ma phone. For the secrets I tell you are your ears alone. For your ears alone. Slump. All right, slup. Down slups the whisper phone to your ear, and old Onceler whispers, "Are you not very?" Whispers are not very clear. since they have to come down through a snargly hose. Snargly hose. He sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It started way back, such a long time back, way back in the days when the grass was still green and the ponds was still wet and the clouds were still clean and the song of a swomy swan rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the tree, the truffula tree, the bright colored tufts of the truffula tree, miles after miles in the fresh morning breeze. That's a pretty place. And under the trees, I saw some brown barbaloos frisk, frisking about in their barbs as they played in the shade and ate tuffaloo fruit. From the ripples came the comfortable. All right. From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sounds of humming fish humming while splashing around. But those tuffula trees. All my life I've for trees such as these. The touch of the tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the smell butterfly milk. I felt a large I felt a great leap of joy in my heart. I knew just what to do to unload my cart. In no time at all, I had built up a small shop. Then I chopped down a tuffalo tree with one chop, and with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tufts and knit the the need the need. The instant I finished, I heard a gazap. I looked and I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree that I had chopped down. It was sort of a it was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy. He spoke with a voice that was sharp and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdust sneeze, I'm I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongue. I am asking you, sir, at the top of my lung. He was as he shouted and puffed. What's that thing you made out of my truffle tuff? Look, Lorax, I said, there is no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite careful. This thing is a sneed. A sneed is I find something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a glove, it's a hat, but it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it as for a carpet, for a pillow for sheets, or for curtains or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that for just at that minute a chap came along and he thought that the need I had knitting was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. Mm. Yeah, we usually don't say that word. I repeat, cried the Lorax. I speak for Izzy, I told him. And we don't say shut up, but if you please. I rushed, built a radio phone. Put it I called my brother, my uncles and aunts. I said and said, "Listen here. Here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road north niche. Turn sharp right at south stitch." And in no time at all in the factory I built, full tilt. We were all knitting needs, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of tuffula trees. Oh, baby, oh, how my now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented a super axe hacker, which would whack all four trees at one smack. We were making sneeds four times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up. But the next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, "I am the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the who play in the shade of the Barbaloo suit in their Barbaloo suits and happy lives eating tuffula fruit. Now, thanks to you, you're hacking my trees on the ground. There's not enough tuffula fruit to go around, and my poor Barbaloos are all getting crummies because they have gas and no food for their tummies. Oh, poor guys. They love living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food. I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cries, and he sent him away. I, the Onceler, felt sad. Business and business must grow, regardless of the crummies in their tummies, you know. I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger. So, my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered my loads of needs I shipped out. I shipped them for forth to the south, to the on bigging or biggering, selling some more needs, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again, when the old nauseous Lorax came back with more grip, grips, gripes. Oh, I am the Lorax, he coughed with, and he snarled and he sniffed. Onceler, he cried with a crofulous croak, such smogulous smoke. My poor swans, swans, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his poor birds. And so the Lorax, please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where would they go? I didn't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape the smog you smogged up here. Hmm. What's more, snapped Lorax, dendered his dendered. Say a few words about Grumple the Glup. Your machine cogs on day and night won't stop making grumpily glup. So scrumpily over goo. I'll show you, you dirty old. You're glupping the pond where the humming fish hum. No more can they hum, for their lungs are all gummed. So I'm sending them off on. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary, and search for some water that isn't so smeary. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at that Lorax. Now, listen here, Dad. All you do is yap and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go do just what I do. And for I'm fingering I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more tuffula trees into needs, which everyone, everyone needs. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside the fields came a snickering smack of an axe on a tree. Then I saw there was very last tuffula tree of them all. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts and everyone all waved me by and jumped into my car and drove away under the smuggered Now, stars. Now all that was left neath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory and the Lorax and I. The Lorax said nothing. He just gave me a glance. He just gave me a very sad, sad backer glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, and I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left was It here in the mess was a box with one word, unless. Whatever that means, well, I just couldn't. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away through the years while my buildings have fallen apart. I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the Onceler, now that you are here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So catch, calls the Onceler. He let something fall. It's a tuffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last tuffula seed. The tuffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new tuffula, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from acts that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. The end. That was a good book. It's about planting trees. I think it's a good thing to do. Yeah, I like big trees. Do you like big trees, Leo? Yeah, the one down at Papa's house. Yeah. Well, I just want you guys to know that I miss you a whole lot. I wish I was with you. And I will be someday. But until that day, I pray that God blesses you. And Mommy, thank you for being strong. And trust God to help you carry on. I love you guys. In Jesus' name, amen.